Hello there. Thanks for coming back. I'm glad to have you again for another astrological report. Why I'm doing this today, right here, it's 4:45. So this is pretty much the last chance I have to get this done, even though this Saturn influences, that this influence, as you can tell, is like people being worried about food shortages and so on. So, and that's really working with like our fate, like the way we're looking for security and the way that we're trying to make that balance with like long-term finances. It's a big deal right now. Like long-term finances don't come out of nowhere. So that's where our thinking's at. So I'm actually having a little trouble trying to focus on this, but I should have enough done to give you a nice report. So yeah, this right here, like working with our dreams and our intuition, like that's a good aspect, and like the moon working with our values by the end of the day. So this is a good time. This is a good moment to finish this up and show you something about the week ahead, okay? So let's see, I'll do my best. If this video is not good, I'll do another one. Okay, so the first things I have, so I started talking about the 29th in the last video, but I got caught off, as you would know if you watched the whole video. Got cut off by the program. So, alright, but the first thing I got is Moon trine Neptune. I'm trying to use this sidebar thing a bit more. I think it's cool if I can figure out how to make it more useful, So, we're emotionally sensitive, especially around our imagination and our creativity. This would be a good time to work on film. Like, film work is being encouraged here, so like getting this done in the middle of the night probably would have been good too, but we're still building up to it. It doesn't go away. We're building up to that right now. So like this is a good moment to do that. Yeah, you could also meet someone today, someone special. Just do your art and your music and your films. Record your ambitions. Like get work done that like is tangible, like unique. Radical. This is like really a radical mood that we're in Cancer. So we're seeking peace with all that. Okay. Hope you can hear me pretty well. I really do need to get a microphone someday. Okay. So the next thing I want to make note of is Moon Inconjunct Mars. So it's at 2:45. Yep. Oh man. Unfortunate. Gonna have to edit that. Also, I should put myself on airplane mode for sure. Yep. Anyway, 2:45. Moon in conjunct Mars. Emotions are inconsistent, out of joint, challenged, to feel any kind of way, like at all. Like that's so many different, that's like our personal emotions, like our just like the way we find comfort and security emotionally, uh, you know, just interacting with a place that it doesn't, ordinarily interact with, like Aquarius. So like somehow having to balance like Aquarius style action with our need to find that. Um, so yeah, our feelings and desires could span the map. So experiment with your emotions and your artistic goals. Just, maybe express these emotions in a way that you just wouldn't have a chance. This is like very novel opportunity to do something. Especially since like on the other side here, Saturn is also like creating something interesting, fatefully, with the way we're looking for security. So like the way that's all working together is pretty interesting. Activating in the morning on the 29th. Yeah. I really just gotta get this video done, even though I was kind of waiting to be in a better state of mind. But I mean, it's just the time we live in. It's just gonna be the way it is. Okay. So, Moon opposed Pluto retrograde. So the next thing that's gonna activate. Extreme mood swings, especially about world events. So like that finally comes to a head. Inner turmoil. Yeah, it's just not comfortable. It's not comfortable. The world situation is not easy to feel safe. On the face of it, it is easy to feel safe with God, but like, it's like, the world situation, people might be afraid. People are going to be afraid if they don't have God. So, a lot of that. So avoid being vulnerable to scare tactics. So don't want people to scare you with like all the news tomorrow. Determined to consciously respond rather than react, and avoid manipulating or any kind of manipulations. Like just let it be. Just let it be what it is. It's just going to be emotionally challenging, confronting what this up here represents. Yeah, which of course is like restrictions in our society, change in our government. Like this Pluto is really close to the Pluto of when America was founded. That's actually a 27 degrees Pluto. So we kind of want to look out for this Jupiter up here. Let's see what Jupiter's going to do once it goes into 27 degrees Pluto, or of Capricorn. Because that'll give us a glimpse of what 2022 is going to be about with see, now it goes retrograde in the 27th degree. So like what the changes of 2022 are going to be about, we're going to see that this month, and probably just the beginning of May. When in Jupiter though, so like that's like goodness and expanding righteousness and power. Jupiter's almost done the whole loop in here, and like Jupiter's gonna win, against this. But it's just gonna take time. Like it's gonna be a year-long process, but good wins over challenges and wrongdoing. So anyway, so that's something to look out for. What Jupiter, that's just that degree, 27th degree. Going to show us the themes of 2022. Okay. The next thing, so then after that, on this day, it's Jupiter 3, 29. Yeah, so we're gonna have good intentions, you know, like our emotions, like over down here, like they're very, like, good, like taking everything into account, you know, like, you know, this is what we got, you know, it's just like this is our endeavor to get past this as a society, like this, it's like a cutter chart, so like has to go all the way around. Like I read recently that when the half the chart is taken up and there's no planets on the other side, this is the most important planet. Like the first one you get to, this is not a real planet, so we're not going to think about it. But this, like, range is the most important thing that's happening, and the moon is going to be the most important planet as we go through here, because it's all this is going to get filtered through our emotions in a more noticeable way than when the moon kind of like is in here. You know, this is like the whole side of life that we think we're missing out on right now because of, you know, because of everything, because everything's over here. Like we feel like we're missing this, all these representative things, like Leo through Capricorn. And I'm sorry that you can't really see the signs using this chart. I've tried to finagle with it and I can't get these symbols to be any bigger, which is silly, and this is such a good app otherwise. But, you know, you're just going to have to remember that my chart, this is Capricorn, and this is Aries. So, like, 10th house, 1st house. So, and, like, you know, that's the order. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, just starting from spring here, going all the way around to spring the next year. So spring, summer, fall, winter, spring. For the sun, you know. Anyway, you get it. You're just gonna have to remember which of those are. But the Capricorn's always up here, and I have whole houses that revolve around the loop. Okay. Whew. So yeah, that's gonna be intense. So good intentions without support. You're still gonna be good at expressing them, you know, but just try to avoid like bad habits, addictions, open up to others, avoid being seen as weak, or a target for someone's moral crusade. So like, just let people be the way they are and forgive them and focus on like good, like the good that comes from God through all that. I bet that'll be what we want to do. And so that's all going to be kind of emotionally difficult because that's the last aspects before the moon enters Leo, which is our next aspect here. So the moon goes into Leo at 8:06. Yeah. So our mood will shift. It'll be a shift from generally being safe, secure, family, homeland oriented mood to a creative, fun mood, like just super enjoyable. If yeah, and looks like we'll be like we'll be comfortable with that. So that'll be, you know, painful probably, but we'll get through that. In the mood to tackle problems and to enjoy with passion or laziness, the Leo, just the Leo, whatever Leo is for you, whichever house that rules for you. For me, it's, well, anyway, 12th house for me. Yeah, so there might just be a general unsettling feeling in the air, which could be challenging. And I bet it's gonna feel really quite different tomorrow. Someone was telling me that there's something about April 29th. Maybe you should look into that. I don't know what's so special about this day. Okay. Well, maybe I can get through this one day here. 23, 26. I think that's, yeah, moon oppose Saturn. Yeah. So then, like, there's a cold and morbid influence coming in to oppose the way we're feeling. So just stay creatively involved. Like, get really involved with just maybe even the catharsis of, like, of it all. Make something beautiful. I don't know how much support there's going to be for actually making anything, but I feel like we would value that. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. That's really good. Yeah, committing your way to the Lord really does make a huge difference. Okay, wow, look at that rectangle, that box there by the end of that. So that's this. That's right when moon opposed Saturn happens. So yeah, don't guilt trip people. That's that tells you everything you need to know. Like, if we're just emotionally not good with this lockdown situation, like, something has got to give, like, faithfully. Like, it's just got to give somehow. All right. Okay, and then, yeah, this aspect, like the box here that I have written down, yeah, just a unusual fatal connection, because the next time the moon goes around this and meets it in the very first minutes of Cancer, when the North Node retrogrades, will be the last time for 19 years, I heard. And it was almost the last time this one, but it's just in the very first minutes. I guess it depends on, like, which node system you use, the true node. I don't use the true node. I don't understand what makes it a true node, so I use the ordinary one. But, so, yeah, it's a whole different cycle with the moon and the North Node coming up next. It's going to be about Gemini things. It's going to be about tech. It's going to be about values in tech and society, like talking to people, not being restricted in our society, but really all about getting to that place of society again. So this could be an interesting catalyst for change in our culture, and I don't know what you gotta tell me what you think about it sometime. All right, so that's all I got for that day, and I got a long way to go. But this is still just the best time to do it, I'm almost certain. Okay, April 30, 4:40 a.m. Yep, that's when this, I think, is it when this perfects right here? I'm not sure. Saturn nodes. Yeah, so it hasn't perfected yet, and it will 4:40 in the morning. It's just like a fateful change around restrictions. Like, it's like kind of like a compromise. Like, it's been finished. Like, we made a compromise around this some way. Okay. Mm. This is really going to kind of tell us what Saturn in Aquarius is about on this day. I think we'll have a better opportunity to see what restriction in society really means after this. Okay? So the next one I have is Moon square Mercury. And so we get this one a lot, you know. Moon square Mercury. So there's a stress between our emotions, our thinking, and communicating. We're emotionally challenged by the intellectual realm. Emotions are confusing. Our emotions are confusing our reasoning, or our reasoning is messing with our emotions. So it can go either way. So I guess this will be a good time to just get into some kind of reading mental work. Something that will tonic your emotions, like read a holy book, read the Bible. uh, Something that will ease off your emotions there, because the moon's got to really power through the square to these, and that's like just like a really intense desire for radical change, and like just radical change happening in Taurus, while our thinking and our personality are all there too. Like it's kind of like consciousness has been brought to like what this Uranus and Taurus thing was even really about anyway. And that's still kind of confusing, but it's like very different. Like so we're going to be emotionally picking up on what this is about on this day. And I think yeah, we're going to have that conjunction by the end of this day, Thursday. Gotta make sure I say the day. It's a lot of information though. Can probably get lost. Okay. Our unusual thinking has met with our personality to stress our creative emotions. Yeah. I bet. So this is powerful though. Like we're moving forward. we're gonna get there. Just gotta be patient. I feel like that most of this year is gonna be about like long term patience and endurance, perseverance. Mm-hmm. So next up, we've got Uranus. The Uranus square moon. So the moon's gonna move past like all three of these planets, and I'm just going to tell you what they are in one go, and it's just like all day. This one perfects, and then the one to the sun perfects. So that's all day, and then after emotionally we've passed through the square to all that. That's when Mercury conjoins Uranus, and that's going to be, I'll tell you about that. But first, so all day as we're moving through this emotionally, with the stress between our emotions and our communicating, there's also disruption to our emotional state. We're having mood swings, and reacting impulsively. Not a good time for big sudden changes, because we're just like emotionally challenged by it. It's like going to catch us off guard. So have more patience and avoid lashing out at people, because whatever gets unsettled will return to a new state pretty fast. So it's not that big a deal. Unsettling, stimulating, distracting influence. Just don't make any big sudden changes and let it go by. See what happens. Okay, so then moon by like 3:38, the moon square the sun, which will reveal relationship tensions, bring them to the surface. So be kind and patient, and everyone will get what they need. Yeah, like your emotions will get what they need. Your character, your personality will get what it needs. man and woman will get what they need, you know. It's going to be challenging on each other, but it's just, you know, it's where we can grow. It's a first quarter square, which I've heard best described as a crisis in action. And I mean first quarter square because this is where the new moon was, right here. And now this is our first like big challenge to that. It's a square. Yeah, we'll have to act around. You're gonna have to act around whatever's getting to you. The emotionally charged situation without much drive to act right now, because like maybe our drive to act is intense. It's like either way, we're either not gonna want to act, or it's gonna be like powerful moving action, like really going around. So probably big action energy somewhere. We're gonna have to act. Cool. So, and that by the end of the day, so after that, or around the same time, there's Mercury conjunct Uranus. And if you're looking down here, you must have already seen that. It's yep, around there. So it'll give us an extremely stubborn mood around our mind, because it's going to be unusually stubborn. Unusual ideas about money, food, simple things. So keep an open mind and listen to others. But there's also deep personal insights, a disruption to ordinary thinking, higher awareness, experimentation, unexpected news or people, rapid reactions, error in judgment, distraction, problems with technology. So all that's possible. Taurus is such a fixed sign too, so like it's really confusing to think about them doing this there. But it's because Mercury is going to be about Taurus things. It's going to be about money and food and like pleasures of life. And it's just so unusual for it to be like this. And it's going to keep being kind of like this for, I think it doesn't leave the sign until 2027. So this is like our whole decade, really, is like kind of has this Uranus and Taurus aspect to it, and we've brought our thinking mind and our personality around understanding what that is. So yeah, I'm sure you know what that's about. So I can't really tell you what that means for the whole world state. I know it's going to be a strong, like that's a strong push forward in our values. Like, that's what I'm predicting. Alright, so okay, so the next day I wanted to make note that we are now Jupiter is now 2 degrees away from Pluto today on May 1st. So 2 degrees away, and soon enough they're going to get closer. So let me kind of go ahead here. They're exactly 2 degrees away, and then while Pluto goes backwards, Jupiter's going to go forward until it gets into 14th minute, the 27th degree. That's as far away as it's going to get in May. And then it's a faster moving planet, so Yeah, so they'll be 2 degrees away again in June with the approach. So they're going to be getting closer, closer, closer. Let's see. Oh, that's what this is good for. I get it. I get it. We can look and see when's that going to happen again. Because I know it's like in, yeah, June 30th. So Jupiter's going to move back past the 24th degree and retrograde faster than Pluto. Then it starts moving forward in October. And it's going to reconjoin at November 12th. So, yeah, I just thought you might think that was interesting. And how far do they get away this time? It's like only 5 degrees. Only 5 degrees away. Yep. So yeah, I think that 2 degree mark will trigger something around the way it's expanding. Maybe it'll give us a break, like a slight break but it's gonna go that way and through July. So I think the intense fear and the destruction that was in the stars to come from these events is just going to increase up through July. But it's good. It's a good thing. Like, it's an expansion that, like, brings in the opportunity for something new. It's just like, it's better than if Jupiter had, it's better and worse than if Jupiter had not been there. Because Jupiter expands it, but Jupiter is also a benefic. So it's a better situation in some respects than it could have been. Alright, man, before I just make this totally crazy unwieldy, let me tell you about Friday, May 1st. Actually, I gotta take this call, so maybe this is gonna be a 2-part video. Alright? Thanks, guys. That was the end of Thursday for that day.